Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Okay, in today's video we are going to look at the King's Gambit. The King's Gambit, it's not an opening that I like very much, exposing the king like that, moving that pawn on the F file, attacking the center. But the really main objective of the King's Gambit, is to develop your pieces much more quicker than black so that you can have a better advantage when it's time to attack. Also controlling the center, which is something that is very, very important in the game of chess, because the one that controls the center has the more advantage. So we're just going to look at a couple of traps that you can play when you are playing the King Gambit. Okay, okay, I just want to start here. Okay, this one we're going to call it win the queen or mate. Okay, call it win the queen or mate. So let's go. We're going to play e4. Black's gonna play e5. Then you're gonna play the King's Gambit. You're gonna play f4, wanting to trade off that pawn on the f file. You know. Also, there's this queen here. This is why I didn't particularly like the King's Gambit. But okay, so your opponent decides what to play. Bishop to c5, right? Bishop to c5, attacking that knight. But I don't think a lot of people actually do attack that knight, even if that knight is there. But this is the opening of the King's Gambit. Black normally plays this, getting ready to also bring out queen. Okay, so white is going to continue the game, playing knight f3. Obviously, development, making sure that that queen obviously cannot come here, exposing the check, and also exposing the mate, obviously, this combination. I'm sure by now, if you're a chess player, you know it. What we're going to play, we're going to play p6, opening obviously bishop's way to coming to playing that knight and pinning it to the queen. Right, then you're gonna play c3. Right, it's a common move when you're playing maybe the Italian game, but you also can play it when you're playing the Queen's Gambit. Obviously, being that you're gonna push that pawn, then when you after all the captures and variations have happened, you're gonna end up a piece up by capturing the dark square bishop with your queen. Right, then Black decides to play, okay, queen to e7, 4. Black does not then accept that gambit, actually captures in the center, right? We have now initiated that series of capturing, right? We capture again with that c, right? Now we see queen captures e4 check. This is a big blunder. This is where the opening comes from. Either you're gonna win this queen or you mate, right? So what do you think is the best move for white? Give you a second here. Best move for white is to move the king away to f2. When the king moves away to f2, black really needs to play very carefully, yeah? Right? Otherwise, he's going to lose that queen. Okay? The next move, whether whatever black sorry wanted to do, that bishop remember was under attack because that pawn has two defenders. So remember when the defenders are more than the attackers, then you do not initiate a series of exchanges, right? Because after that you're gonna end up being a piece down. Whether it's a pawn, whether it's a bishop or it's a knight, you're gonna end up being a piece down. Then white decides to play rook to e5 check. This is the first great move, right? Because now the attack basically begins. The king decides to slide, right? Not trying to mess up pawn structure there, right? Rook e1. Basically, the check was there. Remember the move of check. Check is a very powerful move that you can play on the board because this now forces the king or other pieces to defend the king, or it forces the king to move. It gives you time to initiate your idea, right? Which is, I think, what Black saw here is that if Black were to defend, let's say, let's go back to that. Go back to that check, right? Go back to that check. If Black were to defend with this, right, then this was gonna be White's next, right? Trapping the queen to the king, right? And then the queen was going to be forced to exchange itself, and then that pawn structure was eventually going to be ruined. So this was Black's way of salvaging the position. You understand? So Rook e1, threatening the queen. It didn't work. Whatever uh, Black does at this point, you know, whatever Black does at this point, it should have just accepted the gambit in the first place. Whatever Black does at this point, you have a beautiful mate with Rook to e8. Yes, your white king didn't get to castle. Yes, you lost some pawns. But the most important thing is you gained elo and you won the game. Right? So that's trap number one. Win a queen or mate using the king's gambit. Let's go into trap number two. Trap number two. Just gonna restart game. Just taking a bit of time. Okay, there. Okay. Most of the time, when we play chess, especially at beginner or intermediate level, we are afraid of playing sacrifices. Sacrificing maybe for sometimes it's positional sacrifices, sometimes it's forced mate sacrifices, and it's very difficult um to see these sacrifices because your mind is not in that state. You're not in a very aggressive state. Not It's like it's those kind of people that actually hate confrontation. Let me say that. Knocking on your opponent's door and forcing them to do some moves, so that you could have the advantage. That's basically what the game of chess is about. You need to always be open minded. You know, not be afraid to lose some soldiers in order to win the war. You know. So the second one we're going to look at is a very beautiful knight sacrifice. Okay, so we're going to do the opening moves of the king's gambit. F4. This time, Black decides to accept the gambit. Then going to play knight f3. Knight f3, right, stops that move of the queen coming there. And if you push, you eventually lose a rook. I'm sure everyone can see that. Right? So we're gonna play g5, right? Defending our pawn, making sure that white cannot recapture the pawn. Right? Okay. Remember, objective of the gambit is for that white to develop their pieces much more quicker than what black can do. they can have better attacking position. Right? We're gonna go and play h6, strengthening that pawn structure, which is a good idea. You know, this is a great idea, strengthening that pawn structure and allowing maybe the rook to come out there. I don't know, but then one 3 pawns are better than one. Okay, we're gonna play h4, trying to ruin the pawn structure. Black decides to play f6. This is where the trouble comes in. Black has developed their pieces more than what. Sorry, white has developed their pieces more than black, which is a straight up beginner blunder. You know, principle of chess: control the center, develop your pieces, castle early, connect the rooks. It's like a sequence, which is why I advise you to find the video on how to create your own chess study plan, which is on this YouTube channel. Watch that video, take some notes, and then start following that sequence. Start watching, actually improve. Okay, you're gonna play e5. Playing e5, right? Playing e5 is saying that okay, I'm coming for that king, right? I'm coming for that king. I want to finish off your king, and that d file is open for the queen, as you can see on the board. This now says, okay, you can capture the knight on e5, because maybe black is thinking that okay, my king can't get away, but as the king is getting away, it is coming into the white's territory, right? Because after check, obviously the king's gonna play e7. I check again, it's gonna come up to the D file and so forth and so forth. And then eventually it is going to get trapped. Plus, if black does not do anything about that knight, we could get a fork between the queen and the rook, right? So black says, okay, let me get rid of this knight. Then the trap begins. Check, e7, check, d6, check, e7, checkmate. Sacrificing your pieces is something that I also learned. It took me some time to actually start playing and start seeing these kinds of moves, which is why I urge you to like and subscribe, because this is the type of chess that we teach and we try and study together on this channel, right? Making sure that we can visualize and start to see that, okay, these kinds of moves are possible and we can do them and we can play them in, especially at beginner level, or to someone that is very greedy, right? Protecting that pawn that was supposed to be gambited off, and just let your opponent recapture the pawn and make the game flow. Chess comes with a set of rules. Every opening has a main line, and it should flow in a specific way, which has both advantages for the defending player being black and the attacking player being white. If white offers you a gambit, rather study a way in order to block maybe the eighth or the fourth move of the gambit, rather than trying to be greedy and trying to keep all of your pieces. Look at that. Black only lost one pawn, got mated. White has many pieces that have been developed. The queen came into the party, and the queen ultimately hit the last blow and strike against white. Okay, so we're going to look at that last opening trap. Now look at that last opening trap. Okay, so we're gonna play opening moves of the gambit, right? Mm, accepting the gambit, then playing c4, allowing black to play queen to a. This is where emotional intelligence is really required when you are playing chess. Chess is a sport. Any professional sport requires the player or the professional to have a kind of emotional intelligence, right? Sorry, hold on for a sec. Sorry about that. Okay, allowing black to play the very scary move of queen to h4. Right? Obviously, when you do um, block with g3, white is only going to capture with the pawn, right? Then when you capture again, then you're going to lose a rook. Correct? Correct. Okay. Then black says, oh, okay. Um, I'm playing queen to h4 check. You're not going to block anything. You're going to play f1. Now, f1, there is no next move because there is no other check. Now the queen looking stupid there, you know, it come out and it thought maybe okay, it's gonna cause some trouble and I'm gonna lose or it's gonna win some material, right? Do not be afraid of not castling, right? Do not be afraid of not castling. This is when your creativity needs to shine, right? This is when you're risky, you being a risky player or a player that's more creative needs to come in. Do not be afraid to play these kinds of moves and do not be afraid to be uncastled in a game like this. You have decided to play the gambit. You've decided to make sure that most of your pieces develop early so that they can attack. Obviously, threatening checkmate. G4, threatening to capture. B6, retreating, threatening to recapture the queen. G4. Right. G4 is pinning the knight to the queen, saying that if that knight moves, right, black is saying that I'm going to capture your queen, right? When black captures your queen, it's essentially the game is going to be over for you. Now, the beautiful bishop check, right? This insinuates a fork, right? If your opponent is greedy, your opponent's going to think that, remember, he moved the queen initially, trapping the knight to the queen. You cannot expose the queen. Now, now you have essentially landed a piece by capturing the ruining black's chances of castling itself. But now, maybe black's going to be thinking, okay, this must be a blunder. So black's going to capture the bishop. Of course. Right? You're going to come in the beautiful knight e5 check. The queen retreats. You're going to win yourself a queen. Right? This is very important. Not being afraid of having an uncastled queen. You know, this allows you to grow as a chess player. It has allowed me to grow. There is some games whereby I have taken this approach. Some have lost it, some have won. You know, it's a win lose. That's how life goes. But in being this kind of player and only playing chess when you can fully concentrate. This is how you improve. This is how you improve your confidence. This is how you're going to make sure that you win tournaments. This is how you make sure that your elo is going to go up. I really hope you guys enjoyed these three taps of the King's Gambit, playing with white, and I'm sure you're going to have so much fun playing these moves against your friend and having a nice time and just enjoying the game of chess. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're new to the channel, uh, please hit the subscribe button. Please come back for more. Check out the other videos that are on the channel. Stay here, absorb this knowledge. I'm sure it will be for your benefit and for your ELO's benefit. Can't wait to see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.